Hello, and welcome back to Marquita Green Motivates YouTube channel. I am so excited that you have tapped in to hear a little bit about 3 reasons for showing up for you. So if you are following me, you know that this is the month of love, and we are talking about self-love. And I got a couple of questions after the last video. And if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check the button. Hopefully it's right here, but it's somewhere around this video on Self-Love Tips 101, ways to show self-love to yourself. Well, one of the tips is to show up for you. And the questions that I got were surrounding how does that look in the midst of a pandemic? And so I am here to talk to you about 3 reasons why we show up for ourselves, even in the midst of a pandemic. Before I get into the 3 reasons, I want to explain a little bit more about what that means. It means that we are glamming up and we are making ourselves look good so that we can feel good, so that we can potentially post some selfies or just kind of be. But it's a moment for you to show up and do something different. So think about this with me. Think about what happens in the morning. How do you wake yourself up in the morning? If you're anything like me, then it takes a routine, a ritual. It takes a little bit of doing. We don't just naturally wake up excited and ready to go. Well, not all of us. And so for those of us that need a little bit more prompting, it takes us some time to get into the bathroom, splash some water on, and be like, okay, I'm up, right? Some of us have to get a cup of coffee in the morning in order to wake up. But there's something that we do to energize us and to start our day. And so in the same way that we have to figure out how to wake up so that we can be productive throughout the day, then this self-love tip is simply to encourage you to not just wake up and exist, but to show up as your best self. And you're still probably asking why. Well, let me tell you. The first reason is people are watching. There are days where I may not be feeling so hot, where it's just not the day for me, where I might have some sinuses, kicking my butt, and I'm just not excited about getting up and moving. And I've gotten caught up where my daughters will come home from school and I'm still in pajamas. And they're wondering, what's going on with you? Why do you look like that? Why haven't you moved today? You don't look right. And they're not saying it because I don't look right. They're saying it because I don't look right. People are watching. On the flip side, there are some days where I've gotten up on a Saturday with nothing to do, nothing on the schedule, and absolutely nowhere to go. And I get up and I get fully dressed. I put on makeup, I sponge my hair, put on some jewelry, put on my lips, and they're like, where you going? Nowhere. So why do you look like that? Why not? They notice. And so the first reason why you're encouraged to show up for you is because people are watching. Whether you have children or not, there's somebody who sees you. Even if it's somebody, your neighbor, that sees you taking your trash out. Whether it's you running to the gas station, whether it's you running out to grab a cup of coffee, somebody sees you. And guess what? When people see you, they're waiting on what it is inside of you to rise up. So for instance, we know that there's a light shining deep down on the inside of you that is waiting to come out. It is waiting to illuminate. And when you show up, for the people who are watching you, they get to see it. And there's something that comes off of you and comes onto them, and it helps them to see things a little bit different. And so even if you're struggling with doing it for you, do it because somebody is watching. Another reason why you show up for yourself, even in the midst of the pandemic, is because you matter. And so I want to give you these examples. We get dressed for various occasions. We get up and we show up as our best selves when we're interviewing for jobs, or when we're going to work in the office building every day. We get dressed when we're going on a date. We get dressed when our homegirls say, come on, let's go out for a night on the town. We get dressed when we're going into the house of worship. If we can get dressed for all of these things, why can't we get dressed for ourselves? Think about that for a second. What is the purpose of you showing up for your best self for all of these other occasions? Why not do that for you? Are you doing, and then, so I want you to think about why you're doing it. Are you doing it because they expect you to do it? And if so, why is the expectation there? Are you doing it because that's the acceptable thing in a culture? And if so, why do you believe that jobs have uniforms? Why do you believe that we look a certain way going into a house of worship? Why do you get fancy when it's time to go out on a date? We do these things for a number of reasons. And I submit to you that we do them because of expectations, that we do them for cultural reasons, but we also do them because they make us feel a certain way. And if we can feel that way when we're outside of our home, we can certainly bring that same aura into our home. And so the second reason why you dress up and why you show up as your best self every day is because you show up for you to bring an aura into your home that is needed. The third reason why you show up is similar to reason number 2. And you do it because you want to keep the light in this dark place. This pandemic is crazy. There's so much loss. There's so much uncertainty. There's so much pressure. There's so many changes going on. And a lot of us are feeling boxed in. We're feeling locked down. We're feeling caged in. Well, if you can't get out of the cage, the best you can do is to show up in the cage. The best thing that you can do for you to help your self-esteem, to help your mindset, so that your mind doesn't go crazy in this thing that we're living in. When you show up for you, something happens. When you are able to look in the mirror and say, oh, you look good today, there's something that shifts on the inside of you. And so you're no longer showing up for an expectation of others, but you're showing up so that something can shift on the inside of you. It's no longer about the outside of you that matters. This third reason is about showing up for the inside of you. It's making sure that your emotional state, that your self-confidence is intact, that your level of self-respect is intact, that you are sending symbols to your neurological system saying that something good is happening. We cannot change what's going on the outside of us, but we can change what's going on the inside of us. When you think about Ezekiel and the dry bones, and it's in that parable talks about how Ezekiel is encouraged to prophesy to dry bones. Well, we understand through that parable that there is power of life and death in the tongue. And while I'm not encouraging you necessarily to say anything, I'm encouraging you to show up. When you think about what it is that you're saying, what it is that you're speaking, just by your appearance, that speaks volumes. Think about what you post and what you don't post when you show up for your best self versus when you don't. Are you posting that morning look when you first roll out of the bed? Or are you waiting until you've shown up for yourself? Are you waiting until you're like, I'm looking hot today? Are you showing up where you say, this outfit is fire? When you show up and you say, my hair is on fleek today. I think that's the right terminology. Whatever it is that you may say, are you posting then or are you posting before then? There's something that triggers on the inside of you that says, this is the moment for me to shine. And that's why we're rising up. We're keeping our emotional sense intact. And what does that look like? What does showing up for yourself look like? I kind of already talked about it, but I want to say it again before we wrap up. I want to remind you, in the way that you wake up on any given day and you go to the bathroom, you wash your face and you brush your teeth, it's to do something. It's to wake up the skin. It's to wake up the taste buds. It's to wake up the things going on around you, right? That is the same thing that happens when you get dressed. When you put on something that's a little bit nicer rather than a t-shirt and sweatpants. When you put on something that makes you smile at yourself, whether it's makeup or this is makeup or jewelry, whatever it is that makes you take a double look in the mirror. Those are the things that allow something to arise on the inside of you. That's, you're waking up your senses. You're waking up your confidence. You're waking up your courage. You're waking up your boldness. You're waking up everything inside of you that somebody is waiting for. The people that are watching you are watching because they're waiting for something that you carry. And if you don't show up, then you're not illuminating the light that's inside of you. That light that wasn't meant to sit underneath the table. It's the light that was meant to sit on a table and to shine ever so brightly. It is the light that is meant to shine out the darkness around you. It is the light that is meant to call you into purpose, to call you into your destiny, to cause you to soar. And so no matter what it looks like around you, this is an opportunity for you to speak through action that you matter. This is an opportunity for you to speak to your mindset that you matter. This is an opportunity for you to rise up and to show up for you so that when the time comes for you to go out, for you to reconnect, for you to go out on that hot date, or for you to do whatever it is that makes you want to get up and move, you're already going to be in position. You're already going to be ready. There's a saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And my encouragement to you is to go on and show up as your best self as often as you can so that you are in position. Showing up positions you for the thing that's next. You don't prepare for it when it comes. You don't prepare to be a wife when you get a husband. You don't prepare to become a parent when you become pregnant. You don't get prepared to become a CEO when you get the job title. You prepare along the way. And so the reason why you show up for you today and every day going forward is it's preparation for the you that you were called and created to be. And so I am encouraging you to rise up today. Drop a comment down and let me know how you are going to show up for your best self. Let me know when you're going to show up for your best self. And let me know how you're going to show up as your best self. And if you drop in the comments information for your social media handles, when you say that you're going to show up, I'm going to come and look for you so that I can celebrate you, so that you know that you're not showing up for naught, that you're not showing up for absolutely nobody. You're showing up for you, and I want to be there with you to celebrate. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, if you have comments, if you want to dig a little further, connect with me. You can find me at www.marquitagreen.com. There are ways to contact me on that website. Connect with me and let me know how I can stand with you and walk out this self-love journey with you. Also, in the comments are going to be a link to a 5-day self-love challenge that is coming up very soon. I want you to be a part of that. And I want you to spend 5 days with me doing 5 different activities just for you. And guess what? You will be showing up for yourself. I can't wait to see you on the other side. I love me, and I know you love you. And now this is the time to allow the you inside of you to rise up so that everybody around you can see the real you. All right. Peace.